Rhinos have existed on Earth for more than 40 million years. They live for up to 35 years and weigh up to 3.5 tons, making them the second largest land mammal after elephants. They have a great sense of smell and a good sense of hearing, but very poor eyesight. Despite their fierce appearance, rhinos are herbivores, feeding on grasses and leaves. Females stay with their young until ready to give birth again after about 4 years. At the turn of the century, there were around 100,000 rhinos, yet now the population has been reduced to fewer than 14,000. 10,000 white rhino live on the plains of Africa. The black rhino population has been reduced by 95% since 1970. It is now only found in parks, reserves, and on private land. Fewer than 1,900 Indian rhino live in parks and reserves in India and Nepal. Fewer than 900 Sumatran rhinos survive in dense forests in Southeast Asia, and fewer than 100 Javan rhinos survive in only one game reserve. Rhinos have 1 or 2 horns made of a material similar to human fingernails. They use their horns for defense. Rhinos are endangered because of poaching for their horn. In North Yemen, rhino horn has been used to make handles for traditional daggers for hundreds of years. The daggers are viewed as status symbols, but the demand increased as many Yemenis became wealthier during the oil boom of the 1970s. But traditional Chinese medicine has posed the greatest threat to rhinos. Some practitioners believe that rhino horn has unique properties to treat life-threatening conditions, and although international trade in rhino horn was banned in the 1970s, the ban was not enforced, and rhino horn was openly on sale in many parts of Asia. Chinese factories held large stockpiles of rhino horn to manufacture into prepared medicines. In the early 1990s, the international community realized that rhinos would be extinct within a few years unless something was done. In Asia, new, stronger laws were introduced, and there was an enforcement crackdown. At the same time, protection was stepped up in Africa, and some wild rhinos were even placed behind fences for their own protection. Some rhinos were dehorned while still alive, but even this does not protect them from poachers. A small nub always remains, and the horn grows back. In one park, 83 out of 85 rhinos were poached within 6 months of dehorning. For as long as there is demand, poachers will kill rhinos for their horn, even risking their lives. Rhinos will only survive in the wild into the next century if funds are secured to protect them and the demand for their horn ends. Bears are intelligent and curious animals. They learn quickly and have long memories. They can live for up to 30 years. They range in size from the sun bears of tropical Asia, weighing less than 60 kilos, to the polar bears of the Arctic, weighing up to 800 kilos. While polar bears feed mainly on seals, other bears are largely herbivorous, eating grasses and berries. Most bears are shy, peaceful animals which avoid human contact, although adults will fiercely defend their cubs, their den, or their food. A female bear may produce as few as 6 cubs in a lifetime. The cubs are dependent on their mothers for the first year or more. Bears have disappeared in more than half the areas they once populated due to loss of habitat and overhunting. Some bears are still hunted legally. but others are poached illegally for their skins as rugs and trophies, and for their paws to supply the exotic meat market. The most sought-after body part is the gallbladder. Traders will pay several $1,000s for one gall. In the countries where bear gall is most commonly used, like South Korea, bears have been virtually wiped out. The gall is used in traditional medicine to treat liver disorders and other complaints. It is also used as a general tonic or pick-me-up. Although galls from Asian bears are preferred, because these bears are rare, gall from every species of bear are now traded. Dead bears have been found with only their galls and paws removed in North America and Russia. Poachers will hunt down bears using bows and arrows, using guns, and often using dogs. Cubs, orphaned by poachers, will die a slow death from hypothermia or starvation unless they are rescued. In the 1980s, China tried to supply the market for bear gall by extracting the bile from the gallbladders of living bears in so-called bear farms. A steel tube is surgically inserted into the bear. This device causes pain and infection. Twice daily, the bear is milked. Farmed bile is smuggled all around the world. In the farms, the bears are kept in very small cages. Swaying from side to side is one indication of the psychological stress that years of confinement puts on the animals. They will live for only 4 to 10 years, compared with up to 30 years in the wild. Despite its original intentions to conserve wild bears, most of the bears in the farms were taken from the wild, and wild bears continue to be poached for their galls. There were up to 10,000 bears in farms and as few as 12,000 left in the wild in China. There are herbal alternatives to bear gall in traditional Chinese medicine. There is even a synthetic version, UDCA, which is manufactured cheaply and in large quantities. Conservationists are calling for the use of these alternatives and for an immediate ban on all sales of bear products. If these measures are not taken, they fear that bears will soon be wiped out in Asia and that poaching will intensify in other parts of the world. These beautiful animals can survive in the wild if the buying stops and if we find the funds to protect them, but they need your help. Never buy products from endangered species. Tell your friends and relatives never to buy them. Explain how they are causing the killing of these animals which may lead to their extinction. If you see endangered species products on sale, inform the authorities. Warn potential buyers that they risk fines and even jail if they are caught smuggling these products. Write to your government asking them to do more for wildlife protection, and you can help to raise money to protect these animals in the wild and to secure their future for years to come.